This week, it's my birthday, so I'm going to do something a little bit different than I usually do, and I'm going to talk about my childhood and show you some pictures and talk about my birthday. So get ready. Okay, first off, I was not born bald. I'm telling you that right now. I had white blonde, little wispy hair. I promise you that. This is what I recollect from my birth, that I was not bald. But get ready for, one of those lovely pictures. Here I am. Yes, that's me. That's my picture from the hospital. And yeah, I look like I just came out of a vagina, don't I? Yep, all lovely and wrinkly and squinty-eyed and puffy. I'm sure I wasn't pleased, but all right, that's my unflattering picture. Here we go. This one's a little bit, obviously, I'm starting to get my devilishly good looks going. Here you go. So this is me, one of those lovely 1960s colorized pictures where you look like you've got rouge and makeup on. But yep, here's my picture of me a little bit older and much cuter. Notice the dress. My mom had a bunch of these dresses for me. She was absolutely, she must have spent a small fortune on my clothes when I was little. And I had all these little hand-smocked little dresses with matching little pantaloons. And this one's white, but I had blue and pink and yellow, and I actually still have them. I've got them in a tub, and I have 3 boys. I have no daughters. So there they sit in a tub, needing to be desperately ironed, but preserved. So hopefully someday I will have a granddaughter, and I will be able to convince my daughter-in-law, one of my daughters-in-law, to please put them in these adorable little smocked outfits. If not, then they'll probably go to a vintage clothing store. Gosh, I hope my mom in heaven is not listening to this. She would have a fit. But, if I don't have a daughter, I'm sure there is a little girl out there who will look absolutely beautiful in them. And then here we go. This one you can see, yes, the really big blue eyes. So here I am in this one. And this one was taken in Frederick. I was born in Ohio, and we lived in Indiana, but we did come to Frederick quite a lot because my mother's family's all from here. And every year we would come here for like a month in the summer or so, and then we would come back sometimes for Christmas, every other Christmas. So this picture was taken, I'm pretty sure my mom, after I was born, hauled me to Frederick as quick as she could so that she could show all the relatives how beautiful I was. And yes, my head is a weird shape. I tell you right now, it is almost impossible for me to get horseback riding helmets that fit my weird shaped head, but I'm still beautiful. And then here we go, a little bit older in this picture. Another cute little outfit, me happy, cheerful. And yes, my bangs are like about, a millimeter long. If you haven't noticed, I have a cowlick. I have a really huge cowlick, and it makes bangs a little difficult. And my mother would take Scotch tape and tape my bangs to my forehead so that they would lay flat, so they wouldn't do this. I've given up, obviously. You can tell I've given up. Now these, I'll give you some, I'll show you some close-ups of these because they're like these little snapshotty ones. So the first one is me. I don't know how old I am in this one, but I've got like, I don't know, a fur coat or something. I'm not really sure what the heck I've got on there, but there I am in one of those blue smocked little dresses. So there's that. This next one, I'm wearing a snowsuit. It's obviously Christmas because look what's behind me. Oh, I'm so excited. I love, love, love those old 1960s silver aluminum trees. I bought one at one point, but instead of buying a retro one, I actually bought a vintage one that had been sitting in somebody's attic and basement, with mildew and everything for decades and decades, for 50 years. And the wooden piece that held the boughs was splintered and cracked, and it shed silver all over the place and was not all that nice. So sadly, that went away, but I want to get another one. I have one of those, and also I have the much coveted color wheel that went behind it. It looks like a fan, and it's got these little plastic colored things, and it spins around and shines on the silver and is supposed to make it like color change lights. It's way cool. I love like mid-century. So, and then the next one is me with false eyelashes under my nose, sort of like a Groucho Marx looking thing. Of course, it was the 60s, and my mom wore false eyelashes. She even had hair pieces, which were popular back then. And, I have some picture somewhere. I'm sure I'd dig it up somewhere, but of me wearing one of her hair pieces. So it looks pretty hysterical. That's probably more hair than I've ever had in my life, as you can see. And then the next one is, it looks like a little girl is about ready to bite off the side of my head. That's my cousin Dee. Diana. She was named after my mother. She's about 9 months older than I am, and she was my best friend growing up. Even though I lived in Indiana and she lived in Maryland with the rest of my mom's family, we were so close, and we still are close. And I just remember as a child, we wrote to each other. We would make puzzles for each other. We would write short stories to each other and mail them. And we couldn't wait until we saw each other a couple times a year. But I'm sure in this picture, this is one of those like, hey, Dee, kiss your first cousin here on the head. And it looks like she's taking a chunk out of me. Thanks, Dee. Okay, now we are about ready to get into the iconic Olin Mills photos. I don't even know if they're around anymore, but if you're my age or thereabouts, then I'm sure you remember your parents trotting you down to the Olin Mills studio for pictures, family portraits. So there are many, many Olin Mills pictures in my photo albums. So here we go. Here's one of me. I think I'm probably about kindergarten age in this one. Here we go. So yeah, it's maybe about 5 years old, because I'm thinking this is probably close to 1970. So here's this. And then notice again the really super short bangs. And yes, again, my mother had to tape those to my forehead to get them. And of course, she had to pin curl the sides to get them to do that, because if you haven't realized, my hair is straight as a stick. And then here we go. This is amazing because I love this picture. So here you guys go. This is my family. Oh my gosh. So there's my absolutely beautiful mother. So pretty. And my very handsome, dashing dad. My middle son, Anders, actually looks a lot like my dad. When I look at childhood pictures and baby pictures of my father, pictures of Anders look just like that. But here we are in our Olin Mills photo. And Frankie joined us, Frank the Third, joined us in 1972. So I'm thinking this is probably about 69 or 70 is what I'm thinking on this picture. And then this one, I think these are probably around first grade for me. So here we go. Again, another Olin Mills picture. Yes, the barrettes, and yes, those ponytails had to be meticulously curled. Otherwise, they would have been straight. But wasn't I pretty? That was so cute. And here's another one. You can tell I've got these awesome little outfits here. So there I am. That one. Yeah, I don't get those like really super short bangs. I could never do that now. First off, because they would stick straight out of my head, and I'm not about to scotch tape them to my forehead or anything anymore. And the next picture I'm going to show you, I'll give you a close-up of. I absolutely love this one. This one is my father and me buried in the sand. Yes. My dad loves the beach, loves it. And one of the absolute joys of my childhood was when we would go down to Florida to visit his parents. And they lived like right on the beach, usually close to Daytona Beach area, though they did spend some time over on the west side of Florida around Tampa. But most of the time they were kind of, around the Daytona Beach area, Ormond Beach, that section. And my dad loved the beach, and he would body surf, and we would build sand castles, and we would bury each other in the sand. And, I don't think there was enough sunscreen in the world because we were in and out of the water constantly. Good times. Okay, now I've got a couple pictures from when I'm thinking I'm probably about 10 or 11 years old, because Frank is in these pictures, Frank the third, as opposed to Frank Jr., who's my father, and Frank Sr., who is my grandfather, who is no longer with us. But so here we go. Another iconic family photo. Again, my absolutely gorgeous mother, dad with his 1970s porn stash. I think he looks very handsome, but yeah, it's very much a 1970s dude. Check out the sideburns on that man. Oh yeah. And there I am, and my brother Frank, and oh my gosh, isn't he adorable? He was like the cutest kid. My golly. If you notice, look at my mom's outfit and my outfit, and see how they match? My mom was an amazing seamstress. Not only could she crochet just about anything and was just incredible with arts and crafts, but her sewing skills were out of this world. I tried and tried, and while I could make some basic items sewing, I never could get truly fitted items. I just can't manage to get the level of precision that my mom could. But look at those beautiful outfits. I wish we still had those, because you know what? I think they're coming back in, and I would totally wear that outfit that my mom has on. That's really pretty. Another picture here, and this is another outfit that my mother made. This is back when the whole, like, I don't know, Little House on the Prairie look was coming in, I guess. I don't know. I actually do have like some Little House on the Prairie stuff, but yeah, here I am. I've got this little dress on, and then it's got like a long skirt on it. And my mom made that, and yeah, not a super big fan of that dress, although I'm sure at the time I absolutely loved it. Now we get into, oh, you're not going to believe it, but I went through a slightly less than attractive phase. I know you totally will not believe it, but yes. So here I am in junior high. I think I've just got my braces on. I have a really short jawline, and my teeth are like normal size, and I've got this like short jaw. So I definitely needed braces. And here we go. Here's this absolutely not too awesome picture of me in junior high. So this is probably like mid 70s is what I'm thinking, judging from the lovely velour top, which was very popular in the disco era. I remember that top. It was really soft and comfortable. I love that top. And yeah, that was my attempt at, sort of winged bangs. Again, my hair doesn't curl well. Thank goodness straight hair has been in for like ever, because, all right, here we go. This is me. I'm in high school. I think I'm a sophomore in high school because I still have my braces on in this picture, and I've let my hair grow long. But again, I have that lovely, that lovely, winged bang thing going on there. I don't know. You can kind of tell I've got my cowlick, but somehow I managed to tame it. And yes, mouthful of braces going on. So I look like I have chipmunk cheeks because of the braces. But I was really big on sweaters in high school. I mean, not just the sweaters with the monograms, which were very popular back then, but I had tons and tons of sweaters. I absolutely loved them. You'd wear them with shirts underneath of them, collared shirts, and then you'd take little bits of ribbon and pull around the collar and tie them in little bows. So that was that. And now I've got a couple other little pictures that I'm going to show you some close-ups of. The next one is me with my dog, Sandy. Sandy was my constant companion since I was I think we got her when I was about maybe 3 or 4 years old. I honestly don't think I remember a time before Sandy was in my life. She passed away when I was 16 years old. I went out one day. I mean, she would run beside me with my bike. She went everywhere with me. It was constantly with me. That dog, we were inseparable. Kid and their dog kind of story. And she was my collie, a rough coat collie. And gosh, I loved her. But yeah, I went out one day and I told my dad, I said, Sandy's not, she doesn't want to like go bike riding. She doesn't want to go for a walk. And I went in and I stole a hot dog out of the fridge. And I was like, she's not even eating the hot dog. And Dad said, well, we'll take her. It was kind of late in the afternoon. He was like, well, we'll take her to the vet tomorrow and see. Maybe she's just got some stomach problems. And then she passed away in her sleep that night very peacefully. But I was just devastated because she was an enormous part of my childhood and I loved her so. The next picture is me in my pom-pom girl outfit. Yes, for one brief year, I was I was in the pom-pom squad, which did halftime dance shows at our high school, and I loved dance, and I really enjoyed the dance routines. I liked it a lot, but the sort of girl politics that went on in the squad, not so much. So I don't even think I lasted out the whole year there because I just couldn't stand that kind of thing. So these next two pictures are, I think, yeah, these are my senior pictures. I had let my hair grow really, really long. And then when I had my braces taken off, I decided I was going to get my hair cut and get a perm. So you notice the fluffy hair? Yeah, you've no idea the amount of chemicals it takes to make my hair fluffy like that. But I went ahead and got a perm and got my hair cut and I had my braces off. So this is me. I like the one picture. The other picture, I don't know what it is with the Olin Mills guy, but man, that soft focus. Now we're doing college and soon after college. So get ready. There might be some, I don't know if there's any beer pictures in these ones or not. No, the beer pictures are yet to come, or maybe they're in here. I don't know. Anyway, so here I am. This one is my 21st birthday party. So here I am, 21 years old. Yay. And yes, there's beer in that picture. My friend's drinking a beer, and trust me, I did too. So that. Here I am. We went down to the beach. I think I'm probably like 22 or so in this picture. So here we are. This is about when I'm graduating college. So, and this might have been like a college graduation beach trip. So there I am. Yes, I've got, you'll see the big hair coming up soon. And then this one is like a little Polaroid, but I'll hold it up so you can see it really well. This one is like my mother and I. Actually, this one I'll like clip in so you can see it a little bit better. But it's my mother and I. I don't know what we're at. We're at some kind of dinner or something like that. But yeah, so there's that one. And then here I am. Oh my gosh. I think I was, of course, you never think you're pretty, when you take these pictures. But I think I'm kind of cute. There's that. Here's another one. This is college graduation. So here I am with my diploma. Yay. And then this was the party that we had after I graduated college. So there. Notice the big 80s hair going on. Well, my version of the big 80s hair. Yeah, it was permed like heck and blow dried in about 1,000,000 pounds of what I used to call hair cement, but it still isn't, you know, quite big enough. After I got out of college, and I worked my way through college. So um, I worked full time and I went to college full time because, and I still had 1,000,000 student loans. So things were, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have made some other choices, but that's what I did. So when I got out of college, one of the first things I did was I bought a used Alfa Romeo convertible. This is my 76 Alfa Romeo convertible. And here I am, sprawled across my convertible with my high waist jeans on, which were, of course, you know, quite the thing in 1988. So, yeah, that's me. And then, let's see, a little bit later. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, yeah. All right, so here we are. And then late in 1988, my trusty old Ford Mustang bit the dust, and I bought a Jeep. I had always wanted a Jeep, so here I am with my Jeep. Again, I love my vehicles, so there I am with my Jeep. The doors off. I think it was, even though I've got capris on and a freaking tank top, I think it was like March, and it was probably, I don't know, it was probably like 40 degrees out, but no, I had to take the doors off and have capris and a tank top because I wanted to look cool. So there I am on my Jeep. I love that thing. That. And then this, I can't wait to show you this. This is, I have to have dogs all the time. And so in 1989, I got Kiwi. This is Kiwi. He's a Sable Merle rough coat collie. And he was like my heart dog through my 20s. Oh my gosh. I mean, I was single until I was in my early 30s. And Kiwi was my man. I mean, he went everywhere with me. He jogged with me. We'd go hiking together. I just, you know, he was, I hadn't had a dog since Sandy that was like really mine, and Kiwi was it. This next picture is me and Kiwi, and this is my favorite picture of all. There I am with my 80s hair and my Kiwi. Gosh, he was a beautiful dog, and he was just wonderful. And my heart still hurts when I think of him because I loved him so much. So there you go. All right, now here's me going to the prom. Now I'm drinking a glass of wine in a prom dress because guess what? I'm not 18 in this picture. No, I'm actually 25 in this picture. I had always told my brother that I regretted not going to my prom. I wasn't dating anybody, and I didn't go with my girlfriends because they were all dating somebody, so I missed my senior prom. So I always told my brother, I said, if you're not dating anybody, I will go to your senior prom with you as your date, just, you know, so that we can have fun and have a good time and you don't miss out on it like I did. He was dating somebody his senior year, and most of his friends were, but, you know, much like me, his friend John didn't have a girlfriend at the time. So my brother asked me, he said, would you go with John to the senior prom? Now, I had known John since he was like all of 11 years old, and I was like, absolutely. So here I am. I borrowed a friend's bridesmaid dress, and we went to the prom together. And oh my gosh, we all had a great time. My brother and his girlfriend and me and John and, you know, Bill and Pat and their girlfriends, we just had a great time together. So there I am at the age of 25 going to a senior prom. And then I've got a couple, and these are a little bit older. These ones I'm you know, again in my mid 20s, but here I am. My cousin Dee is the one that looks like she's about ready to chug the keg of green beer. And yes, that's Dee from the little picture in the beginning that looked like she was trying to bite my head off. We had actually been roommates together when I got out of college. and we were very close friends. Of course, I'm the one with the sleeveless turtleneck on and the big curly hair. That's me over there with like the bandana wrapped around my hair. So there we are with our friends on St. Patty's Day. And then a real quick one, here we go. This one is me going to a Halloween party. Again, I'm holding a beer, imagine that. Dressed as the Mad Hatter. So here I am in my Mad Hatter attire, ready to go. So I'll do a close-up of that one too. Okay, just a couple more pictures and I swear I'll put you out of your misery. This is like some relatives, slideshow of their vacation pictures, I know, but I hope you're having as much fun as I am. If not, then sorry. But okay, the next picture. These pictures, these are from the late 90s. So this is just to show you because as you sit here and you look at me, I'm in my mid 50s. Obviously, I think time has been pretty good to me, but people age and I certainly have put on a few pounds. But I wanted you to see how incredibly fit I was when I was in my late 20s and through my 30s. So this first one is my mother and I, and we're at a 4th of July celebration. I'll give you a close-up of it. But yeah, that's me with the platinum blonde bob, and holy cow, yeah, that was me. Don't get too excited because you know what? Those days are long gone. I've had 3 kids since then and several decades. So I'll just look at this picture and fondly remember. The next picture, this is one of my favorite pictures because I look like a frickin' movie star in this picture. This is at my cousin Lisa's wedding. And no, I'm not in the wedding, but I'm being escorted to my seat by some man who I don't even know. But my mother took this picture, and normally I don't think I take the greatest pictures in the world, but man, she snapped it at the right time, and I look like some paparazzi caught an A-list celebrity on their way to some kind of red carpet event. So one of my favorite pictures ever. And then this last picture I'm going to show you. I used to do a lot of biking in my 20s. I was really into biking. I biked the entire C&O Canal from Cumberland into DC, which is, I think, 284 miles. I didn't do it all at once. I did it within 3 days. We did like 70 miles the first day, 68 the second, and then the remaining amount the third day. So it was a lot of fun. But I biked a lot. I could go on a 70 or 100 mile bike ride, and it just wasn't a big deal. Hence the picture of me with the muscular legs and the abdominal muscles from heck. But when I had my first son, Nikolai, he did not like the bike trailer at all. And I didn't have a frequent sitter for him to exercise. He hated the bike trailer, but guess what? He loved the jogging stroller. So when I was 32, when I had him, I switched from biking to jogging, and I started doing marathons. And I did 5, 6 marathons. One of the last ones I did, I even qualified for Boston with my time, but I didn't do Boston because, there were a few things that happened, and I got pregnant with Anders, and then I did some half marathons and all, but then I got pregnant with Finn, and so I've done some half marathons from them, but at that point I haven't done any full marathons. But this one is from it's one of the better race photos of me. Usually my race photos look like, I look like I've run 26 miles. I usually look pretty rough, but this one I actually look pretty good. And here I am at the Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati, and yes, that's my time, under 4 hours. I was let's see, I think I was 35 or 36, maybe even 37 when I did that. I'll have to look it up, but yep. So Flying Pig Marathon in Cincinnati, and an under 4 hour marathon. And I look pretty spiff. And yeah, I had a kid and I still have some decent abs. Not quite as great as that last photo of me, but you know what? I think I look pretty good for late 30s. And I still think I look pretty good for, mid 50s. I hope you enjoyed this little slideshow and walk through my childhood, early adulthood. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button and please hit the little bell button to be notified when new videos post. I post a video every Friday, so come join me and see what I'm doing. Next week, I'm going to turn back to more business-like stuff, and I'm going to talk about taming your muse, how to get that writing muse to write the things that you need to write as opposed to squirrel, because that happens a lot. In the meantime, I had a great birthday, and I really hope you enjoyed this episode.